Welcome back, my Jedi friends. In today's episode, we'll discuss why empaths and healers are such a disaster at setting boundaries. We're going to cover what exactly a boundary is, why they're important, and why you need to be setting them very, very clearly. And also some of the contributing factors that may incentivize you to do so. So we're going to cover all aspects of boundaries today. And that is what we're going to do. That is what we will do. You will learn your boundaries, my Jedi friends. That is my intention for you. So let's start. What is a boundary? What is a boundary? So a boundary is something very clear. It is almost digital. It's like if you click on a switch, the light goes on. It's as certain as that. It's if you swear at me today, I'm walking out the door. That's a boundary. If you ever hit me, the relationship is over. That's a boundary. Very clear. One behavior leads to an absolute behavioral certainty. That's a boundary. Now, why do empaths suffer? That's a clear definition of a boundary. If you're going to say anything that I don't want to hear, or it's abusive, it's to put me down, I'm walking out. That's a boundary. But you have to walk out. You can't let somebody do what you've told them that they can't do and not keep your side of the bargain. And traditionally, empaths and healers are terrible at this, and we'll discuss why. Because you want to find the middle ground. You want to see the good in people. Now, this is good. I will never put you down for that. It's a superpower gift. But there are certain people that will continue to test your boundaries. They'll test your boundaries until they find, okay, that's where the limit is. Kids will do this, especially teenagers with parents. They'll keep pushing your boundaries, pushing your boundaries, pushing your boundaries until they reach the point where, oh no, I better not go there because there's too much discomfort that comes. The consequences of encroaching this boundary again is way too serious, so I'm not going to do it. And that's how you teach people how to treat you. I say a lot on my channel, we teach people how to treat you. But now we're going to actually put this into practical use. I'm actually going to give you a practical guide of exactly how that happens. So healers and empaths, you probably want to see the best in everybody. And some people aren't worth seeing the best in, especially psychopaths, narcissists. Their job is to test your boundaries. They will always, as a default, test your boundaries. That's their game. And the ability that you believe the excuses after multiple times of encroaching your boundaries is where things go wrong. And that's why empaths are so bad at this. We've talked about matching energy. So, a narcissist is the ultimate infiltration. Let's talk about it. I've talked about this a lot, so I'm only going to very briefly cover this. So, when empathic people get together, we think it's the most natural thing in the world to want to bring other people up with us. So, your energy level with an empath does this. Your energy goes up, their energy goes up, and before you know it, you're both really energized. And it just feels that's so normal and natural. You go with a narcissist, they'll mimic this until they reach a point that you're comfortable with them. You think they're your friend, and then they start reversing the energy dynamic. They get their energy by suppressing yours. And they'll do it to the point they hit a boundary. You're like, right, I'm leaving. Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. 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 It'll never happen again. And then you sort of believe them. And then we get to this point, same thing. Same thing. And it happens on repeat, 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 repeat. And you want to believe what they're saying, but part of you knows it's never going to change. And that's why empaths get caught. Empaths want to see the good in people. Narcissists see the weakness within that. Now, it's only a weakness if you're dealing with a narcissist. Put two empaths together, you've got magic happens. But if you get a narcissist in the mix, then what they'll do is they'll take your gift and they'll turn it into a curse. And this will happen because of the lack of boundaries, the lack of clear boundaries. And before you know it, as an empath, you don't even know where your boundaries are. I've had this conversation with people I've worked with. Where are your boundaries? Where is your limit? Where is the point where you'll say, no, that's it, we're done? And the sad reality is that most empaths have never really found that point. They've never really stated a clear boundary, which is why people keep testing them, like teenagers. They keep testing your boundary, testing your boundary, testing your boundary, testing your boundary to see if it's real, to see if it always leads to that. See if they can push you into a point of weakness where they'll get away with it. And this is how we teach people how to treat us. We think we're being nice. Empaths think you're being nice, especially to psychopaths and narcissists. And all they see is weakness. Now, most of the population, most of the people, it's okay to be flexible because you're dealing with other empaths. But things get skewered when you're dealing with narcissists or psychopaths that see that weakness and will exploit it. And this is where it goes wrong. This, my friends, is where it goes wrong for the average empath, for most empaths, for healers, for light workers, for highly sensitive people. You think it's your job to be nice. You think it's your job not to be angry because you're better than that. When in actual fact, in this instance, where barriers are concerned, where boundaries are concerned, then it pays occasionally to get angry, to let people know that that is not acceptable. And until you learn to do that really, really clearly, then people will take the piss. They'll take the piss, which is why boundaries are really important. Really, really important. So for me, as life as I've got older, it gets easier to put boundaries in place because you realize that life is finite and time is valuable. When you start to value yourself and your own time, you start to see this very, very clearly. And if there are people that are wasting your time, abusing your time, taking the piss, then you've allowed that to happen because you haven't set clear boundaries, which is why boundaries are so important. And often you need boss level assholes in your life that attract in. They're there to do you a favor, to show you how to set boundaries like a boss. So this isn't about projecting anything onto the people that are causing you to put the boundaries in place. Because in the bigger picture of life, they are your best friend. They are the people that gave you the gift of clearly setting boundaries. Now, you're probably not going to see that gift. You're probably not going to feel that gift, but they will keep attracting into your life until your boundaries are so absolutely clear that there is no room for manipulation. There's no room for anyone taking the piss out of you. And there's no room for you training anyone to not treat you with complete respect. And there, my Jedi friends, is the lesson. There's the lesson. Respect yourself. We're back to NWA back in the day. Play that tune. Play that tune, my friends. Respect yourself by setting boundaries. Set your boundaries. Do them well, my Jedi friends. Set them, and do not allow anyone to violate them, because anyone that would violate them is not your friend. They're not your friend, especially if they do it on repeat. They're probably a narcissist, probably a psychopath, and you're making excuses for bad behavior. And you're training people that they can abuse you and take the piss out of you at their leisure. And there's the brutal truth. So, my Jedi friends, if you haven't woken up to this reality, hopefully this video will point you in the right direction, or at least let somebody slightly longer in the tooth to give you the benefit of years of trying to fit in, of trying to be nice, of trying to flex, of giving people the benefit of the doubt. Well, often when there's doubt, there should be no benefit. No benefit with repeated doubters, folks. And there is the message from somebody down the line, the message from Christmas future for empaths that are younger. And hopefully this will reach you in time, my Jedi friends, because this is one of life's most important lessons. If you're sensitive to energy and you haven't learned boundary setting, then this is going to be a lifelong journey for you. So there you go. I've said my little piece. And if you want more of my nuggets or you found this useful, and certainly if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed, then please do subscribe to the channel. And if you want more of my little nuggets, you will find them just there.